And if you're interested in trying this out, I also suggest, and we're going to try to get these on our reviews. Well, for sure, I plan on getting them over eventually. There's also the blue label and the white label, otherwise known as the Series JJ, that comes in a regular wrapper or Nicaraguan, I think a Nicaraguan broadleaf. And then also it comes in a Maduro wrapper.
That's the JJ Maduro.
And they're all really great smokes. Flavor-wise, they all have very common flavors. The JJ is a little bit unique compared to the blue and the Cuban Classic. Recently, if you guys just want to try out all the Pepins, that you guys might be interested, he just came out with the My Father. And the My Father line, actually, has his own private tobacco crop that he grows for himself, and he actually takes a portion of that crop and uses it towards the cigars. And it's the first cigar that actually has not 100% Nicaraguan tobacco, which is very rare for him.
So what is the other type in there?
It's an Ecuadorian wrapper.
Ecuador. Oh.
Yeah, but it's really kind of a unique little concept, because Ecuador is really known for their Sumatran leaves, and Pepin used Cuban seeds rather than Sumatran seed to grow in Ecuador. So
has Pepin ever used Ecuadorian
never
tobacco?
It's always been all Nicaraguan up to the My Father line.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
That seemed kind of staged, but I was being serious. I didn't know that.
yeah, so I mean, he's very renowned in the industry, and actually a couple of manufacturers such as Ashton with the San Cristobal line, Ashton the Blend, and I believe he's the mastermind blender behind the EO cigars, which I also want to get 601 series.
Cool. One thing I wanted to ask you, you mentioned about the burn, how it's kind of a little shaky in the front, but you said to expect that because it's going to fix itself. And I witnessed that firsthand. I kind of got this funky burn where one side it was a lot lower than the other, but then once we hit about the first third mark, it started evening out. But now I don't know about you, but I'm getting this weird riff. I don't know, maybe it's just the way my ash was sitting.
Actually, I believe that's the side it corrected itself, and you know what, dude, I'd rather have a kind of weird ash and it's going to drop and have a perfect, get the burn back to even, than have an uneven burn and a solid ash.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Just
I mean, I was just a little confused about it, but that is the side I can see where it kind of fixed itself, but now it's back to an even burn, yeah, I mean, it's really dark too, the burn. So yeah, but that's some good information. I'm glad that you brought it up to the to the camera, but also to myself, because I didn't know that. So that's something to keep in mind, and maybe we should take down a little bit more, and we'll come back with some more stuff.
All right,
cool.
All right, see you guys.
And the car, I don't know if you heard that right now. That's why we're laughing, but somebody's messing around or something. I don't know. All right, well, we'll get back to you guys.
Halfway point.
All right, guys, welcome back. Third segment of the Cuban Classic, Don Pepin Garcia. So so far, I gotta say, dude, I'm real impressed. I'm really liking it. I was a little hesitant about Pepin for a while because my palate is more of a mild to medium, medium range. But it's really developing. My palate is just growing in a lot of different ways, and I gotta say, this is very enjoyable for me. That's surprising. I've said that already in the video, but I just really want to reinstate that. I'm liking it.
Are you still getting that natural sweetness?
The sparkle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am actually a little bit. But like I said earlier, it's not really like a sweetness, I don't even really know how to explain it. I mean,
it's common in Nicaraguan tobacco. Kind of, it's kind of sometimes hard to reference words. But I mean, it's. I say it's a little. Sweet has that connotation though, where you think, oh, it's sugary.
Yeah, like sugary.
No,
sweet.
it's silky. It's silky, kind of like a silky sweet.
Like a smooth.
Yeah, smooth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can.
Like one thing I noticed is that pepper, at least for me, and it's really calm. And it's gonna probably pick up towards the 1/3. Really calm down. You're not getting that,
I think it's also because maybe we're smoking a little slower than we usually smoke, and we're really sitting back and enjoying it, and not letting it get too hot, which is a big. I'm not sure about Pepin, but I know smoking like a Gurkha or Rock, another type of cigar. If you smoke it too fast, it kind of gives you a different flavor than you get when you slow down and relax.
Well, that's one thing I really like about Don Pepin is that you have. I mean, at least for me. And I'm a full body smoker. I have to take this slow.
Yeah.
And what that allows for me to do is when you smoke slower, at least for me, I found that I pick up more flavors, and it makes me think more about the cigar.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it.
Real quick, I'm gonna go up there. You keep talking. I'm just gonna show it off a little bit because it is very. It's real cool. And I actually took off the first band. It's got 2 bands on it. It's got the Pepin band. The regular logo with the American flag, and then I've got the Cuban classic band that I took off here. I'll just show you that one real quick. Okay.
Actually, if you go back to the American flag, you'll notice on top of it, it's a mix between the American and the Cuban flag.
It is.
Kind of showing that Cuban-American heritage on it.
Yep. So, I mean, the burn, it's straightened out. Burns pretty nice. And it's a beautiful cigar, It's, so that's the cigar so far, halfway.
But flavor-wise, what are you getting on it with the halfway point?
Still getting that woodsiness. It's really smoothed out, and I imagine it's gonna. I really imagine it's gonna pick up pretty soon here.
It's misleading.
Yeah.
Because right when you're getting comfortable, one thing you know, one puff's gonna come, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what happened?"
Yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm waiting. We'll see what happens. Yep. So, you have anything else you want to touch on real quick, or?
Not really. I mean, I kind of went with the history of Pepin. Just one thing I really want to stress on my experience is that I don't know if you. I've had a couple of bad experiences with different brands. I'm not going to name them, but where it kind of messed with the experience. But I think that Don Pepin is probably the most consistent brand. I mean, I really haven't had a Don Pepin that had a horrible draw or a real horrible burn or horrible flavor. It's just
that has a lot to do. That has a lot to do with the rollers, doesn't it?
Yeah. You have the majority of the rollers, more so in Miami than the Miami El Rey de los Habanos factory. I don't know if I mentioned the name. Is El Rey de los Habanos in Miami, Florida, Little Havana. The majority of his rollers are master rollers.
Really?
They're really skilled, and the majority of them are actually from Cuba. They weren't actually U.S. based. They eventually migrated to Cuba, and from Cuba to Miami, and started rolling for Pepin. So the quality and the construction is very, very, very high.
Yeah. You can tell that. Is that the same car?
I don't know if it's the same car.
Same guy. Who knows? Yeah, but so these are some pros then. They're master class 8s, right?
Yeah, that's the technical term.
The technical term, but never hurts to throw that in there.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, so they know what they're doing. They're really good at what they do. And that triple cap that they got going, I know that's real tough. Takes a lot of precision and a lot of practice.
Another interesting fact about Pepin, and I have a lot of interesting facts.
Yeah.
But Pepin's probably one of the few cigar rollers that I know of that, even though he has a major brand, he still sits down at a rolling table and rolls the Solomon size for the Series JJ. And then every once in a while he does the other ones. He's one of the few guys in the industry that actually sits down and rolls cigars for his own brand.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, getting in there and getting personal with it. I mean, that shows a lot about the character of the man, And he takes what he does. That's his life. That's his love, and he really shows that. I think we got a little bug flying around.
Yeah.
Lots of distractions tonight, but
Yeah.
But still, it's
not
not
a take away from
it's not
this.
big enough to take away from the cigar, though. So.